And we are back. Make sure audio is good. Hello, everybody. My name is Wrath. I'm here with Pickles and Fred. We are, I forgot to change the names on the screen. Anyways, it's not a big deal. I'm Wrath. I play Travis King. That's Mr. Pickles. He is the storyteller. That's Fred. He plays as Fred Verdant. We are discussing the campaign called The Strange Town of Golden Ridge, a campaign run by Mr. Pickles. We just wrapped up episode 1 of Adventure 2, or Chapter 2 as I call it. Call of the Squirrel Lord?
Yep.
The Call of the Squirrel Lord. And this is Under the Table. This is where we break down the campaign at large and kind of discuss it. We can do Q&As with anyone in chat, with ourselves here. We can ask the DM anything. He can ask us anything. Try not to give away spoilers, but basically it's an open discussion. Yeah?
Yeah, and I guess I'll start it off. Call of Squirrel Lord, something I wanted to share at the end because I feel like as players, I want you to have at least a clue.
That's a
what's
real.
going on.
I thought that was a joke. That's like a real.
Nope, I'm not
thing.
joking. That's the name of the adventure, and I want to give you guys a clue so that as players, you're able to plot a little bit more rather than being blindsided by things.
That is nice.
Your characters don't know that. And I trust you guys both as role players to be like, okay, our players don't know that, but yeah,
I did the same thing in King's Crossing where I gave you guys player knowledge that.
Exactly. I think that's something that as a GM you should be giving your players enough knowledge that they can role play to their best abilities. Because if like perfect role players could probably improv off of anything.
Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like if you get people like Adam Sandler, let's just take as an example, he probably I don't know if he's good at improv. I don't know why I'm going that. But my point is like
Adam Sandler, if you're watching this, we love you. We appreciate
I'm sorry,
you.
I don't know how good your improv is. It's just like
because Adam Sandler
I'm
watches
assuming, like
Strange Town of Golden Ridge.
That'd be weird. That'd be very weird. But
I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but.
It takes a lot to improv sometimes, and so I feel like as the GM, you need to give as much as you can to your players to let them improv off of. Because if you give a blank canvas, that's when it's like, well, what do I do with this? You're in a town and nothing more. Is what do you do? Like that's what I mean by blank canvas. Is like, and so I want to give you guys stuff to work off of so that you guys can plan and do things that make you heroic and badass. And so that's why I shared that there. But I'm curious, how you feel? How are you feeling about the first adventure or first session of the second adventure?
I'll let Fred talk. I always feel like I jump in and overshare. So
I enjoyed it a lot. I also kind of enjoy that we got off to a rocky start at the beginning. Just because that's them not having something to do together. It feels like the friction would be too much. But as soon as something shows up for them to do, it's like, all right, business time. We don't have time to argue. You know what I mean? And even after that, they started patching it up a little bit. Fred's been stressed a lot lately because he's been working constantly. And then Travis and his antics don't help his anxiety levels very much. But as soon as he's out relaxing and or has something to do, it's either, all right, I'm going to chill out. I can relax. I don't have anything to worry about. But then when something shows up, it's like, all right, I don't have time to be anxious. Let's do this. You know what I mean?
I think it was very interesting how this episode went because I feel like throughout chapter 1 there was a lot of tension building between the two main characters. Mm-hmm. Just with everything that happened, from antics to threats to life being in danger to life being saved to all of this combined, there's a lot of tension building up between the two, and I feel like chapter 2 it wasn't planned, it wasn't scripted, but I feel like it almost was because it fell in perfectly to where like shit just kind of like Verde kept piping off and saying shit, and finally King was like, all right, what the fuck? Like, finally King was like, all right, like, I'm getting tired of you being a dick. Like, what the fuck? And I feel like it made sense for the story. None of it was scripted, and I was a little worried about going there. We talked about it kind of during a break. I was like, I'm a little worried about even approaching it because I don't want to I don't want there to be a split. I don't want like to make this a worse situation, but I think it's great for storytelling when two mature players can play their characters in a way that's like, okay, we have a problem, like there's some, inner party problem, but we're going to build on it, and maybe it gets worse, maybe it gets better, but like in the end it should get better. Like it might get worse first kind of thing, but like let's play it out and have fun with it and tell a story. And Pickles, you brought up a great point about how there's only two players, so that inner party communication and relationship is a huge factor of the game and as a whole. So I don't know. I feel like with all the tension and everything from chapter 1 and chapter 2 and episode 1 kicking off with, hey, what the fuck? Let's talk. I feel like it was, I mean, it really wasn't that direct, but it was kind of like all right, like we're both showing that, okay, there's a divide between us, blah blah blah. And I don't know, it wasn't scripted, but I feel like it almost was because it was. I feel like it was good. I think it was a great kickoff, and I know that it's not about us. I mean, it is, but it's not. That's not everything. You've got a whole story to tell, Mr. Briggles, and that's great, and I'm excited for it. And I think we actually, I feel like we made a lot of progress. I mean, it might not, like, if you might have had like, oh, I've got this written and we got through this much, as it usually is. But I feel like we made a lot of progress, and we got out here all in episode 1. We got all the way out here. We're starting off the adventure in episode 1 while also still being able to handle some inner party stuff. So I'm excited. I thought that went very well. It went a lot better than like when we, I know I'm talking a lot, when we brought it up and kind of stuff started popping off when we went to break, and I was sitting here going, I'm worried. I think it was handled very well. I was actually really impressed. I think it was handled very well, and I think Verde has shown, and Fred has shown that Verde has a lot of dynamic to his character, like a very well-rounded character, to where instead of just being this asshole cop who's a dick all the time, he's showing, hey, there is another side to him. There's more to this character than just what you saw in chapter 1. Be ready for chapter 2, Verde. I was excited. It made me happy.
I'm glad you're excited about it, because I'm excited to figure out where Fred is gonna go. Because I don't plan out everything with Fred. I don't have this storyline where he's gonna go do this, and this. When I make a story, I am very this is causation for this, which means this happens, which means that happens. And that's what I do when I do my Zeusing on Arma too, is everything has a cause and everything has an effect. So I don't know where Fred's going, but he's going somewhere.
I didn't really plan anything out with King, but I knew coming into chapter 2 and after everything that went down in chapter 1, I knew, okay, like, King is going from this happy-go-lucky, hey, I'm just here to nab some bad guys and get paid, like that. I'm moving on, like I'm just doing my job and then I'm moving on, or taking life easy. I'm going to the casino, playing games and blah blah blah, right? But I knew after everything he saw in chapter 1, where he's like, there's fucking monsters and this town is weird, the cops are involved and shit. I knew coming into chapter 2 he's gonna get a lot more, I don't want to say like investigative, but like serious about it. He's going to be like, okay, there's more going on here, and this isn't really let's wave our gun around in the air kind of moment. This is like I need to spend this time wisely and figure out what the like there's shit going down. And he needs to figure out what is going down, because it's his life in jeopardy and on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with Travis King's character, like I don't have it all planned out, but I do know I plan on him getting. Maybe not serious, because he's still out here, setting up a gun range to, pop off shots and giving liquor to squirrels and shit. But, like, he's still Travis King, but I also plan on him, like that back room that we have in this cottage here, like, setting up all his notes and, like, setting out the case of everything that happened in chapter 1 and being like, okay, like, let's, like one of those boards where they got all the strings attaching, like, like, that's something that he would be setting up over the weekend to be like, okay, like, I'm not off the case. As much as he said, this isn't a job, we're on vacation, King was like, like, I plan on, like, he's gonna kick back and have fun. I plan on taking Titan out for walks and go swimming and all that, but, like, I'm still gonna, you know, work and try and be a detective and figure out the case. And so, I don't know. I feel like I'm hoping both characters will kind of show some dynamic. I mean, I know King hasn't really yet, but I've seen it a little bit from Verde, and I plan on King. In chapter 1, you saw that he was a Joker and a smoker and midnight toker, but I feel like in this one, I plan on him getting a little bit more serious and more like, all right, I'm gonna solve a case here. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. Well, to play off something you said earlier, of making progress and whatnot, that was sort of the intention of this adventure, at least the initial parts, is to really play off of how do you guys react now in mundane situations. You've seen something strange, and so much of the first part of this adventure is just how are you reacting to this? First off, the first major scene is you coming to an area, you're not traveling together. Do you stop together? One of you could have just gone on your way, and so it's interesting to see you guys stick together there, even though you wouldn't drive together in one vehicle and play music and have a fun time and have Titan singing along in the back seat.
Whoa!
Yeah, you didn't go for that, and that's fine. It's interesting to see how you do that, because then there's the dynamic of what do we do with this mime lady. So I'm curious. You have a lot of information, but yet not really any answers on these mime ladies. Why? How do you feel about this? That scene. You found a lady hanging from a tree. You
did any of
Travis,
our...
you heard some stuff from the guy saying about how we clean up our lands.
Did any of how we reacted surprise you for episode 1?
No, I don't think so.
It was you kind of knew.
I was delighted, but I don't think I was really surprised by anything.
Okay. Fred, you go ahead. I talked a lot.
I'm kind of interested where the squirrels are going. Because it seemed like
I am too. I was talking about the mimes
there.
there.
You're talking about the mime.
Well, I mean, I feel like the mimes and the squirrels might go hand in hand because well, I was talking more about the ancestors or whatever, the natives. So yes. I think the squirrels and the mimes may be linked. I don't know how.
We come from squirrels.
I don't think that. No. I don't know how precarious that link is, but I think there is a sort of link there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was squirrel hands. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do too, but it's remarkably difficult.
Yeah, I did it, and I was like, that probably just looked weird. My boobs. Yeah, the mime situation. Yeah. You've mentioned these hill people a lot lately, and I'm starting to think they're all just kind of fucking weird. Because like
they are relative to Golden Ridge, and especially relative to the big city and anybody that just flew in from a different state.
Yeah, this reminds me of, and don't quote me on this because it's been forever since I've seen this. Surprising I haven't even seen it at all. But the hills have eyes.
I've heard of it.
That's a slasher movie where
the hill people are
mutant
weird
people from the hills then attack and kill people on the road. Yeah.
So the mutant people, it's normal where they're from. Like they're just the mutant people and they live. But when other outsiders come in or whatever, they were like, "Fucking mutant people are weird." That's how I feel. I feel like I'm sitting here at this gas station and I'm a normal person from outside. And there are these mutant people who are like, "Yeah, we hunger. We do that here." I'm like, oh, okay.
We don't like mimes around these parts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they were ever directly tied, but the fact that they didn't look when the cops came, like, who doesn't look when cops are outside? Like, if cops rolled up outside my apartment, I look. And it's weird. So, like, I feel like it's either something that has happened before, to where they're like, yeah, we know what to do. We know they're handling our, like, we cleaned up that mess, and then the cops come take care of it or something. Like, I don't know. Travis is very paranoid. Like, he's very much like, what's the conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself or him a conspiracy theorist, but in this case, I guess he's He's borderline. He's like, shit's connected. Cops are bad.
He's getting uncomfortable with what he's seeing.
Yeah.
And these truths are making things that question his worldview.
Yeah, and then like I played off Verde was when we first started the adventure, and you were like, "How do you guys feel about going on camping?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine with it." And I'm going over here going, "What? What? Why? Like,
Yeah.
we just got benched for aliens, and you're just like, yeah, no, that's normal."
Vacation, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's where Travis was like, "I don't trust you."
so think about it from Fred's perspective. When a policeman is involved in anything abnormal from day to day, they get sidelined one way or another. Whether that be because they shot somebody or because somebody filed a complaint against them or something like that. So Fred, as a policeman, is used to getting benched for like the weirdest reasons. It's not. Yeah, and Travis isn't. Travis doesn't have stuff like that happen.
No, he's new to this town. And he's going, "What the fuck is wrong with all of you?"
Right. So, from Fred's point of view, getting sent off on vacation is the equivalent of you need to get out of here because if the news shows up, you do not need to be in the spotlight. That sort of thing, you know? So in Fred's mind, it makes sense. They called it raccoons because they didn't want to panic people. They didn't want them going out and hunting them randomly and maybe getting each other and other people killed. That sort of stuff. So in Fred's mind, calling it raccoons and sending both of them off is a valid reasoning. Plus, he really wanted a vacation.
So, your thoughts? We're heading into Adventure 2 of The Strange Giant Golden Ridge. We're finally back. It's been a couple months. We took a break for some bullshit. Who knows? And,
hey, that's what I say when we're playing your game.
We're back. Are you excited, Mr. Spriggles? Are you ready for this? Are you, like, do you think it's off to the right start?
Yeah, no, I liked exactly what you guys are doing. I think Titan needs more of a spotlight, but he doesn't have an advocate for him. He's just been following along with you and just being a little puppy dog.
Yeah.
Puppy dog.
Yeah. No, this is going exactly as I thought. I'm glad you guys are indulging the setting and engaging with things, and yeah, there's a lot to be found and a lot to explore in this area, like up in the hills. I'm really excited for these upcoming adventures. Like, just it's gonna be a weird but fun time, I think.
Can I ask before we wrap up this under the table, Fred? What did we got 2 advancements, which is like a level up for our characters. What did you put your advancements into?
I got I went into, what was it called exactly? I've already closed it out, but it was the more
Investigator.
I got investigator as an edge, and then I got more hardiness, I guess would be the best
Vigor.
word.
Yeah.
Vigor, yeah.
What does
Your endurance, constitution.
What does investigator do for you?
Investigator gives me a bonus to searching stuff.
Yeah, it's basically your profession is being a detective, essentially, when you pick that. Like, and not just like profession, like you are exemplary at it. You get a +2 to research, and you get a +2 to notice when you're ever like going for clues.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw you had a +4 on one of his notice rolls. I was like,
because he has alertness as well, that gives him a blanket +2 to notice.
oh, that's cool.
So he's alert and he's an investigator. So he has a +4 in some situations.
as well, because I think that would fit well for my characters.
I think it fits well for the setting in general.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I might pick it up next time. I picked up Reliable, which I started to second guess. But basically, it makes it to where everyone knows that I'm a hero and they love me and they respect me and they want to be my best friend.
That's not what it does.
People know they can depend on your hero when they need assistance. For any support role, I get a free reroll. Which I'm guessing means if I assist you with anything, I get a bonus reroll to make sure that you succeed.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up, but the support roles, I'm pretty sure you roll that to like give him a bonus.
It's like
To try and help them
assistance
out.
in King's Crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got that so that I could be more helpful to you, and I got that, and then you're immediately like, "You're the worst person ever," and I was like, maybe I want to change my edge. But then my other one, I just raised my strength attribute, so it went from a D4 up to a D6. I did that specifically because there were certain firearms I wanted and armor I wanted that required a D6. Plus, I know when I got into a fight with a guy with a baseball bat, I got my ass kicked, and I needed more strength.
Yes.
So, anyways, that's all I got. You guys got more?
I don't really have anything else.
I'm very curious how you guys feel about your bag of drugs.
I am curious to see what happens with it, to be honest.
You didn't throw it in the fire at all. I don't. You haven't done anything. I'm curious what you're gonna do.
Well, if we threw it in the fire, we might get high off of it, which might not be the best.
Yeah, and if you snort it, you might get high off of it too.
It's challenging for me. As much as I'd love to say I'm a great role player, I have literally no fucking interest in drugs. Me personally,
Yeah.
never have, never touched them, never will. Don't care for them. Don't know anything about them, and that's perfectly fine. I don't judge it. Like I don't judge anyone who does. Whatever. It's just not for me, right? So when I have a character and you're like, "There's drugs," I'm like, "Okay, I move on." You move on. I'm like,
all right, sure, yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
I'm like, "Okay, let someone else deal with that. That's not my thing."
Oh, that's completely fair.
But no, it's not fair because we're investigators and it has something to do with the case. So then I'm like, but the other part of me is, well, yeah.
But even if it does have something to do with the case, why would we take them?
Our ancestors
why
are
would you
squirrels
take the
who do
drugs?
drugs and paint
Yeah.
pictures. So, but my plan is throughout the weekend to turn that room into a case room where like the wall is a whole scene. We've got our desks in there where we're going over all our notes and blah 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 whatever. You know, the drugs could be in there and be like, okay, this is connected how, you know, put the strings to the pins and like, you know.
You have a local druggie that you could experiment on.
Fred?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I was trying to figure out who he was talking about too.
No, the
Mr. Tombert.
counselor, yeah.
Yeah, the park manager.
Yeah, park manager, counselor. Yeah, the camp counselor. Yeah, I mean,
You guys don't.
we'll
trust
probably
him, though.
today was more of
No,
getting
not at
there and kind of getting comfortable and getting situated. But I feel like
Yeah.
next week when we come back, it's going to be I mean, things can happen that I can't plan for. But my plan, or what I think will happen, is next episode is going to be a mix of some vacation bonding and some. All right, I'm gonna, at least for me, Travis King is gonna get to work and start setting up this board and start connecting dots and spending nights kind of falling asleep at his desk in there trying to figure this out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whatever happens beyond that, outside my control.
The investigative world of Strange Town of Golden Ridge.
It's definitely gonna be a long vacation.
all.
And with that, we're gonna wrap up this one. This is Under the Table with our host, Mr. Pickles, and Detective Fred, and Badass King. What am I? Bail Bonds King.
Bail Bond Recovery King.
Yeah, Bail Bond King Recovery, and
Bail King Recovery Bond.
Agent to Titan, and Wolf. Wolf. Haven't talked to her in a while. There's a lady who barks at me. Anyways, there's a lot to catch up on. I'm sorry that chapter 1 isn't out there, guys. I really do apologize. But chapter 2 will be. We'll save it. What's funny is I have one episode. I don't even know what episode it is. I deleted it because I don't have the rest. But I have one episode that I actually recorded. The rest I just streamed, and I was like, oh, I'll just pull them from Twitch. So when I was going through all my videos, I had one episode just somewhere in the middle of the entire adventure. That's it. That's all I had.
Nice.
Like, dang it. But anyways, guys, this is Under the Table. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Wrath. These are the guys. And we'll be back next week. It'll probably be a week. Yeah, on YouTube, it'll probably be a week. Anyways, enjoy the videos and drop comments and likes and subscribes and donations. And go listen to And I Took That Personally on all the things. And we'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody.
Goodbye.